I don't want to eat anything healthy today. I'm over it. Hi everyone, it's Lindsay and it's day 21 of my weight loss diary. This week I'm featuring a food prep video. I make a recipe called Lemongrass Tofu. It's kind of my go-to recipe for whenever I am burnt out on doing food prep. And you'll see that it is super quick and easy. I also will share with you, of course, everything I ate throughout the week, and hopefully I'll be able to reduce this number by at least 1 pound, since my weight loss goal is to lose 1 pound per week. Something did happen this week that's making me concerned that I'm not going to lose weight. Will I lose weight? I don't know. Did I fail at my diet? You'll have to watch to find out. So one of the main things is to have plenty of rice on hand. I have this massive bag of rice that we've been working on for several months now, because rice pairs well with so many things. So I already measured out 2 cups of rice, which is 8 servings, and I've rinsed it over here. And now I'm going to just put it in this pot and make a huge mess dripping stuff in there, so that's how I go. Alright, and now I'm going to add, since it's 2 cups of rice, they say to double it to 4 cups, but I like to do 3.5 because I find that 4 is a little bit too much. Once I have all of that in there, I'm going to turn this up on medium to high heat so it comes to a boil. So I'll keep an eye on that, and in the meantime I'm going to prepare the tofu. So I prefer to use this brand of tofu. It's not because it's my favorite, but I actually prefer the extra firm, but I get the firm because this costs like $1.50 versus $2.50 for the extra firm. So what I do is I just use a knife and cut the package open. And then strain the water out. So then you have a nice block like this. Alright, then I am going to cut it into cubes. Alright, once I got that cut into cubes, the next thing that I'm going to do is, I got this pot here, and start to turn on the heat. I got this massive container of soy sauce. I'd say a little over ½ a cup of soy sauce, if you can see that. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add garlic powder, a generous amount, probably about a tablespoon maybe. And then same thing with this. This is lemongrass powder. You might have to get this at an Asian market. I haven't found it around here for a reasonable price. So I put a generous amount of that in there. And then I use chili powder. And then, because the soy sauce is like too salty if it's just all that soy sauce, I always add some water to it. So I added about a cup of water. Now I'm going to put the tofu in with all the ingredients, and hopefully not make a big mess splashing it everywhere. Or maybe I will. The thing with tofu is you don't want to stir it, because if you stir it, it's going to turn into a crumpled up mess. So with tofu, what you need to do is, we usually just shake it around like this to make sure everything gets covered. And then we're going to just let that cook until it comes to a boil. Once it's to a boil, you're done. That's it. Now, the thing that takes the most amount of time is rice. If you haven't made a lot of rice, you don't want to stir rice either. I used to be terrible at making rice. I never understood why my rice turned out crappy, and maybe it's common knowledge to most people, but my husband was like, you're not supposed to stir it. And then it's like the whole world opened up to me. Once your rice comes to a boil, which mine is not quite there yet, you're going to want to turn it down on low heat, and then it typically takes 15 to 20 minutes to be completely finished, but you don't really have to hang around for that. I always set a timer and then come back and check. Alright, so it's just been a few minutes and you can see that the lemongrass tofu is boiling. Once it hits this point, you can turn it off. And then I just kind of set it to the side because the rice is going to take another 20 minutes. It's still not quite boiling yet. It's getting there. The good thing about rice is once it boils, you can turn it down, and then you don't have to really pay that much attention to it as long as you have a timer on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another meal while I'm waiting for the rice to cook. I'm going to start divvying up the rice in these food prep containers. I just try and keep it as even as possible. I just eyeball it. So as you can see, got 8 servings of rice just ready for the rest of the food to go in with them. I'm going to go ahead and divvy up the lemongrass tofu that's been sitting to the side here. Now this, these 3 circular bowls, I'm going to make this into 3 different meals. Alright, so I'm just going to try and evenly disperse this amongst the bowls. So there you have it. There's the lemongrass tofu. It's a really good low-calorie meal. This is the quickest and easiest thing to make. The longest thing is the rice, and rice you don't have to babysit, so that's the good thing about it. I'm over it, but I guess I'm gonna do it anyway. I want some chocolate. Maybe I'll drink some of this. This is easy. Maybe I'll make a smoothie. So I started the week at 163.4 and I ended the week at 164.2. So what happened? You guys all saw that my food was logged every day. That's exactly what I ate. I didn't mess up at logging my food. Why did I gain weight? I'll tell you why. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning in excruciating pain. I felt like someone was ripping me apart from the inside out. So I promptly woke up and popped a few ibuprofen. And I think many women know what I'm talking about when because the struggle is real. I started my period today, and what typically happens at the beginning of your period, or like the days leading up to it, is you experience a lot of bloating, or at least I do. And I'm not freaking out about it because I know this from, you know, months and months of tracking in the past, that even if I eat really well and I follow the diet exactly, every time right before my period, bloating happens, and sometimes my weight will go up as much as like 4 pounds. So I'm not sweating it. I think it's going to come right back off next week. And I just want this to be a message to anyone out there that's tracking calories and getting frustrated whenever you weigh in and your weight goes up. Just keep that in mind, that with your hormones fluctuating during your cycle, that it's gonna affect your weight loss. And as long as you're making the right decisions, you're gonna come out winning in the end. So thanks again for tuning in to another video. And if you are enjoying the channel and you've made it this far, please take a moment to like and subscribe. And if you want notifications every time I post, please hit the bell icon at the bottom. I post every single Monday at 2:30 p.m. and I will see you all next week. Thank you. And this is Bibby. Bibby wants to be in all the videos. He seems to want to be in all the videos.